Breaking news this afternoon. The president does it. He gets those $1,400 third stimulus checks out the door. He also delivers the Easter Bunny. The latest details about the president and his Easter surprise. Those stimulus checks are landing. $1,400 third stimulus checks are landing across the board without the hop of the Easter Bunny. They're landing in the mailboxes and also by direct deposit of all the breaking news across the land. Meantime, also breaking is Wall Street. How did Wall Street react to those job numbers on Friday? Did Wall Street sink or soar on those job numbers? I have the latest detail happening now that the markets have closed. Meantime, the heat is heating up as forced stimulus could be giving those reoccurring stimulus checks. How big could these reoccurring stimulus checks will be? I'll have all the details and why things are changing now in the last few minutes as the president and several voices are starting to talk about those reoccurring stimulus checks. And then a new twist as your favorite soul speaks out. Joe Manchin has a new word about the fourth stimulus package bill. And I'll have his comments, the president's comments, and Janet Yellen's comments. Also, the latest developing details across the land and the counterproposal that's happening from the Republicans. Could that counterproposal help or hurt? I have all those details, a new video as well from the White House. As a big afternoon's recording starts this afternoon, right now, direct from Los Angeles. Let's get to it as Afternoons LA gets underway. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA as those $1,400 third stimulus checks are landing, and they're landing everywhere in the mail, in the direct deposit, and also with a new IRS tool hack. I'm so excited for you. How are you? Good afternoon. You hop into it. It's a Monday afternoon. Did you crush the weekend? Well, I hope Monday is not crushing you. Sirloin says hello. Javita Late says hello. Blaine66 says hello. And the mailman says hello as well, that he may have your stimulus check for you. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video, and if you've not become a member, the link is at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. Better become a member because fourth stimulus is coming up later in this video. I have a lot in this video, so stay to the very end. Boy, it's a big day with a lot of news. First, that $1,400 third stimulus check landed in mailboxes today for those March 26 mail people. Yep, I've been watching for you. That's the dedication of this channel, and those March 26 mail checks are still landing. Viewers reported to me in private message and also in the post comments of this videos today that those March 26 mail checks are still coming today, either by mail check or by debit card receipt. Then the big exciting news is that we have not one but two hacks to that IRS tool. That's coming up in a second. If that IRS tool has no information for you, I can show you how you can get that information. But here's what you need to know going into Wednesday. If you have no information from the IRS tool, you're likely getting a check by direct deposit on Wednesday without any prior notification. This is direct expressed by Comerica. This is the big banks, Bank of America, PNC, Chase. Yes, those deposits were sent out on Friday. And those Friday sent pushings of checks went out. Certain banks released the funds first. If you are in the next group of banks I'm about to announce, your deposits should have been there already. If they're not, they're likely coming in the mail. Which banks paid early? They're the following: Chime, Cash App, Bank Corp, also Green Dot, Brinks, NetSpend, and TurboTax, and MetaBank. Those have paid early. So if you bank at those banks that don't show the deposit yet, reach out to them right away because your check may instead be in the mail. On Friday, they did that big push, and then on Saturday, the tool updated itself to reflect who's getting a stimulus check this week. Those recipients this Wednesday will be everyone. everyone. If you file tax returns, it'll be you. If you don't file tax returns, it'll be you. If you're on SSI or SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, it will be you. If it's a veteran, it will be you. Yes. Veterans have sent me alerts over the weekend showing thank you, LA, for your dedication. I have a pending check for Wednesday, April 7th. The wait for veterans till the middle of the month, not particularly accurate, as was originally detailed from the veterans. They've been getting checks all along, and they're coming this Wednesday. So what do you need to know if that IRS tool is not working for you, and what do you need to do going into Wednesday? That's coming up later in this video in just a second. But let me talk about the big exciting news, which is that forced stimulus monthly reoccurring stimulus checks. This is you. This is you. If this is you, if you got a third stimulus check, it'll be you if you get a fourth stimulus check. And let's take that word check and put a nice S at the end because it's going to be checks. How many checks do we cash in here? We're cashing monthly stimulus checks. Let's do the math as a family together. If you look at the month at which this bill could land in the Senate, it would likely pay a lot of money across the board. The issue at hand is how quickly the bill could get into the Senate. The president got those checks landing over the weekend, and more third stimulus checks could be landing on Wednesday. But the real excitement as we sit here today is not the checks landing on Wednesday. It's the push of those reoccurring stimulus checks under the fourth stimulus package. Those reoccurring stimulus checks are a big ticket item. What you need to know is that the fourth stimulus package has a lot of names to it: infrastructure, climate, clean weather, a lot of different words. But when it gets to the Senate, those Senate Democrats, those 21 of 50 Senate Democrats are saying monthly stimulus checks. They're making the message very loud and clear. They're going to demand monthly stimulus checks. How does this calculate out? Let's go over all the analysis right now on this channel. The monthly stimulus checks would run every month. When would they stop? About December. How much per month? Well, the talk of the town is $2,000 a month or $1,400. Yes, this is if you are a child. Yes, if you're an adult dependent. Yes, if you're a single individual. Yes, if you're on SSI or SSDI. This is a lot of money. Look at the money involved with these numbers. This is huge money. This is money like you have never seen before on this channel. This is astronomical sums of money. As one viewer, Lynn Glenn, who's a longtime viewer of this channel, earlier today said, LALATE, get the message loud and clear. People need to get behind this. This is what they need to get behind. They need to stop talking about other things and only talk about this. Let me explain what's going on. When the bill gets introduced, the question is what path it's going to pass. If it goes by reconciliation, which it can, that is where your monthly stimulus checks will happen. If the president tries to do this with bipartisanship, the monthly stimulus checks fall apart because the Republicans will never give you stimulus checks. So if this goes by reconciliation, which we hope it does, then what? This is what you need to know. The bill will head to the Senate, and those 21 of 50 Democrats will put an amendment to the bill in that vote-a-rama, those 2 days when that bill lands in the Senate, when they can do an amendment, and then it'll get passed. That's the easy part of the analysis. The harder part of the analysis is the following. What month are they going to get the bill, and how long is it going to take to get them that bill? Here are the two issues at hand, or actually three. Number one, every month they get the bill every month later they get the bill, it costs you a stimulus check because it's a monthly stimulus package idea. Number two, if they get the bill too late, then the economy may be rebounded and they may not get those stimulus checks out the door. They may have cold feet. And finally, if this economy rebounds too much, they may scrap the entire idea altogether. That's why you want this bill to be in the Senate as soon as possible. I'll go over the economic numbers and why this is all teed up to the job numbers from Friday. This is the determining factor of where your stimulus is going. I'll be cutting to that in a second. But what I want to go over is a series of exchanges that happened today. And this one happened a minute ago. Who do you think said this comment? If you're in the comments, drop in the chat right now. If you're in the live chat right now, let me jump in with you. And can you tell me who you think said this comment minutes ago? Now, if you know the answer, that's easy. But if you don't, give me your prediction who you think said this comment a minute ago. This comment says the following: as the bill exists today, it needs to be changed. I think they should have never done under 25%, and that's the worldwide average. What does this mean? This comment was made by a Democratic senator today, and he said that the bill proposed under the fourth stimulus package seeks to raise the corporate tax rate from 21 to 28%. It's currently 21% because of the Trump administration's changes to the 2017 tax code. It previously was in the 30% range, 35%. Someone says McConnell said it. And Sharon says McConnell. Darlene says McConnell. Team Angel says McConnell. Jenny thinks it's Schumer. Interesting. Now listen, this is a person who is a Democrat, who's a senator, who doesn't think this bill works because the corporate tax rate of 28% proposed by the president is too high, but that the President Trump's corporate tax rate of 21 is too low. He thinks it should be 25%. Purple Power Yaya, oh, good to see you, Purple Power Yaya. Hope you're feeling good. Says Wyden. And another one said Schumer. The comment was made by Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin voiced today he's ready to oppose the bill because he thinks the corporate rate is too high. The second part of the comment by Joe Manchin in the statement was that corporate tax rates around the world are 25%. And so we should be where the rest of the world is. We shouldn't be higher than the rest of the world. Now, here's one of the strange twists about forced stimulus that's heating up today. Janet Yellen says, I'm going to ask the G20 countries around the world to raise their corporate rates so that we don't have a race to the bottom. This is huge for your reoccurring stimulus checks for a lot of reasons. Here's one of the problems. First, she's basically referring to something called race to the bottom, which is corporations will race to other countries that have lower tax rates. But she's saying, I'm going to tell the other countries to fix their corporate tax rate. Secretary Yellen, we need those stimulus checks out the door. We don't need to be changing other countries' tax rates. We need those stimulus checks out the door. Let's go back to those numbers. I mean, we're talking about foreign countries changing their corporate tax rates. What's going on here? We need those stimulus checks out the door. If we got that bill into law in June, those checks would go out in July. Well, this is April. That's 2 months away. That's really just on the brink right now. Remember, it takes about 2 months for a reconciliation to be done. So this is where Purple Power needs to push, folks. We need to push to get this bill to the Senate as soon as possible. Now, along the way came a strange series of events on Sunday, and it came from this person. This person is one of the top leaders of the Republican Party for purposes of infrastructure. And he said over the weekend that, you know what, I have a counteroffer. And what was his counteroffer? His counteroffer was taking out certain provisions of the bill. The White House wants to talk to Republicans. This is why the situation is not good if the president tries to do a bipartisan effort. If the president tries to do a bipartisan effort, Republicans are never going to give you a stimulus check. So you don't want the president to spend time on a bipartisan effort. When Mitch McConnell actually said on Friday, I'm not going to give you a bipartisan effort. We don't like this bill. And the counteroffer, by the way, was to cut the bill from $2 trillion to $600 billion. Not going to happen. But what do you need to know? Well, let me cut back to that $1,400 third stimulus check. That $1,400 third stimulus check has a lot of surprises to it. And those surprises came over the weekend when that IRS tool updated itself to reflect the checks are landing. This is what you need to know. If you are a March 26 mail recipient, don't worry, the check is landing. Those checks are landing from the March 26 mail check. And they're just late. They appeared today in mailboxes across the country. Meantime, if you're an April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th recipient of a mail check, we don't know if those are late or how late they are. But understand, today is what? April 5th? The March 26 checks came no less than probably almost 10 days late. So give it a little bit of time across the board. And then we go into Wednesday. There's Sharon. She's in People's Bank. So if you do not show a deposit available of funds yet, you got to get ready for Wednesday. On Wednesday, Direct Express by Comerica, the big banks will make those funds available. And that money is going to be there on Wednesday. If you have online banking access, go look at your bank to get those alerts set up so you can alert when that money has come. Anita says, my son hasn't gotten his $1,400 check yet. So give it a time. It's still coming in the mail. Stay positive and stay focused. It's landed. This is what you also need to know, is that this round of stimulus also had a mail check delivery. So for the April 7th coming up this Wednesday, some people will get it by the mail. Yes, some people still get those stimulus checks coming by the mail. But is there a hack to figure out that IRS tool? And is there now actually 2 hacks that we've identified on this channel to get information from the IRS tool if it doesn't show you where that stimulus check is? Yes. Meantime, what is the other money that is big money under third stimulus that you need to be ready to get in the next day or two? And what else is at play for these monthly stimulus checks for you to get them under the fourth stimulus package, the fourth? I have all that big details coming up in just 60 seconds. Stay with me as Afternoons LALATE continues after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then Afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now, and you had some wonderful questions during that commercial break. I saw one question from an individual asking about the routing, the account number is incorrect on the IRS tool, and then another person, Lorenzo, asking about the stimulus plus item, actual Maximo. Sorry. And let me answer both of those questions for you. If you have other questions, drop them in the comments below. I see some of your incredible questions and comments. If you, first of all, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. The Stimulus Plus, what is that? It's really good. If you got a $1,400 stimulus check, if you got the full $1,400 stimulus check, this is not you. So what is this and who is this for? This is for someone who got a stimulus check of $1,300 or $1,200 or $1,100. What does this involve? Stimulus checks are sent out based upon the most recent tax return you may have filed. Well, that most recent tax return may have caused you to not get a full stimulus check because you made $76,000 or $77,000 or $78,000. So they gave you less than $1,400. They gave you $1,300, for example. Guess what? Some viewers have now filed 2020 tax returns that show in the most recent tax return, I made less than $75,000, while in 2019, I made $80,000. What Stimulus Plus refers to is that if you got a watered-down $1,400 stimulus check of less money, but then filed a 2020 tax return that showed in 2020 you made less than $75,000, IRS will send you a refund check or an extra supplement check to make up that difference to $1,400. And then as to that other question the viewer had, what if I go to the IRS tool and it shows a bank account number that's incorrect? Ooh, well, here's the question. If it's a bank account number you recognize from a closed bank, then you need to watch that mail because they're going to attempt that closed bank account and then send in the mail. If you don't recognize that account ever being with you, then just watch your normal bank account because it may have been a editing error in the database. That's what you need to know. Here, let me cut down to those two hacks that are available for you from that IRS tool. Wow, they're excited. The first one works for about 80 to 90% of the viewers, and the second one works for a little bit less. The first hack is if the IRS tool does not recognize you and have any information, then type in your address in all caps. Margie delivered that trick on Saturday, that hack, and it's really worked 80 to 90% of the viewers of this channel. Then AJ on Mornings LA provided another hack. Pull your most recent payment from IRS, Treasury, or anything like that you think they're using as the address for the stimulus check, and look at the way they type the address and type it literally verbatim. The capitals, the punctuation, and similar. Do it exactly the way they did it. That will be the big solution. So what was Wall Street's reaction to those big job numbers? And those big job numbers mean everything about your stimulus. I'll be covering that in a second. But Wall Street had positive reaction to those job numbers. Really surprised by this one. Those positive job numbers on Friday, many thought would have caused Wall Street to go to the downside. Rather, it didn't. Wall Street saw the numbers as positive. And today, the numbers came in across the board. Tech surged. Facebook was up 3.3% through much of today's trading at $308 a share. Alphabet was up 3.2%. Their parent company of Google, $2,198. Thank you, Patricia, for the wonderful dime lemon. Patricia, thank you for all you do, LA. I appreciate that as well, Patricia. And if you have comments or questions, drop them in the comments on the video. Right now, I have the screen live. Also, Microsoft was up 2.6% during much of today's trading, a very high number for that tech company, $248 a share. Really incredible, great news. But this is even as the president floated that discussion today that there's no evidence that raising the corporate tax rate will cause problems in this country. This is the president's remarks today. While the president was greeting the Easter Bunny, he spoke about corporate taxes. I guess Easter Bunny corporate taxes go one and one. And he said that he doesn't think that raising corporate taxes would impact the Easter Bunny. No, not impact the Easter Bunny, but impact your profitability. Let's listen into what he had to say about the Easter Bunny today.
We have a special guest, as you can see to my left here. I'm thankful to our friends of the White House Historical Association and the National Park Service for helping us deliver thousands of commemorative eggs to vaccination sites and communities and healthcare centers all across America.
Drop in the comments who you think was the Easter Bunny this year. Who do you think was dressed up as the Easter Bunny this year? Do you think it was Joe Manchin and asking for less eggs to be rolled out? Who do you think, drop in the comments, do you think was the Easter Bunny this year? In previous years, of course, there have been press secretaries who have served that role a great deal. Let's cut over now to forced stimulus, which is really heating up. Here's what you need to know about forced stimulus. As the president rolls out the big fourth stimulus bill, it will not have in there reoccurring stimulus checks. Rather, those will be put in there by the senators. And Mundreg thinks it's Mitch McConnell was the Easter Bunny this year. Dorothy thinks it was the vice president was the Easter Bunny. Interesting. It's sort of a tall Easter Bunny, actually, so maybe that's an indicator of who might have been in there. Made an omelet. The comments are hysterical. The forced stimulus package has three major big issues at play. And let me go over why these issues are so important for you to grasp right now. The first big issue at play is the growth of the labor market. Stimulus, for purposes of the White House, Janet Yellen and the Federal Reserve Treasury, the Federal Reserve's Chairman Jerome Powell all say it's dependent upon one factor: number of people unemployed. Well, there are two unemployment numbers. There's the weekly jobless claims that come out every Thursday that include two components: new people unemployed and the continuing unemployment numbers. And then the monthly number, which is the new jobs creations number. How many jobs are missing in this economy? Two different unemployment groups. Well, on Thursday, we saw 300,000 jobs being created per month in this country when there's 8 million missing. 300,000 and 8 million is 16 months to restore this economy. We're going to need 16 more months of stimulus. We so thought. Yellen and Treasury and the president all said next year we'll stop stimulus. Well, on Friday, the numbers came in from the jobs market and it showed 1 million jobs created in the month of March. 1 million into 8 means in 8 months we'll be back to normal. But all accounts, the stimulus package, the fourth stimulus package, will land in the Senate before 8 months from now. That's not the worry. The worry is what analysts said on Friday. They said they think that there could be 2 million jobs created in the month of April. If that's true, then in 4 months, this economy could be back to full reemployment. And what is 4 months from now? May, June, July, August. This is why you need the bill in the Senate before those jobs are regenerated. If those jobs are restored and the bill has not yet been signed into law, some Democrats may get cold feet and say, no, the jobs are back to normal. We don't need any more stimulus. We don't need any more stimulus. 4 months from now is very close. So that's why you want the bill in the Senate as soon as possible. Now, the other most obvious situation of why you want the bill in the Senate so quickly is because every month is a stimulus check. When we look at the numbers, if we got a stimulus check out the door in the month of July and thereafter, that's $12,000. That's $12,000 if it's $2,000 a month. If it's $8,400, it's $8,400. The check is $1,400 a month. But the bottom line is you want those checks out the door as quickly as possible. So what's available before that? More about that in a second. But what you need to know is that you, as the Purple Power, need a push. You need to take these videos and share them on social media and tag your Democratic senators. Push Purple Power. Push, push, push. You absolutely have to get them to do this bill, 1, fast, 2, by reconciliation, not by bipartisanship, and 3, to get that bill to the Senate so they can do the amendment and put those multiple stimulus checks in as soon as possible. The longer they delay, the faster the economy rebounds and the more likelihood this could be a big issue. Meantime, today, Dr. Walensky talked about the resurgence of the virus. Now, this would derail the rebound of the economy, but so far, with a 5% increase in 20 states, it hasn't impacted the bottom line yet. Let's hear what she had to say in a recording earlier today.
Utilizing outdoor spaces as the weather allows. I finally want to highlight today that CDC has updated its guidance for cleaning and disinfecting facilities and homes to reflect the science on transmission. People can be affected with the virus that causes COVID-19 through contact with contaminated surfaces and objects. However, evidence has demonstrated that the risk by this route of transmission is actually low. Cleaning with household cleaners containing soap or detergent will physically remove germs from surfaces. This process does not necessarily kill germs, but reduces the risk of infection by removing them. Disinfecting uses a chemical product, which is a process that kills the germs on the surfaces. In most situations, regular cleaning of surfaces with soap and detergent, not necessarily disinfecting those surfaces, is enough to reduce the risk of COVID-19 spread. Disinfection is only recommended in indoor settings, schools, and homes where there has been a suspected or confirmed case of COVID-19 within the last 24 hours. Also, in most cases, fogging, fumigation, and wide area or electrostatic spraying is not recommended as a primary method of
Great advice across the board. On a personal note, ever since this pandemic started in March, I have washed every single surface of every product I have bought at or gotten at a supermarket. I wash every single item before I touch it if it comes from a public source. So great advice across the board. During that broadcast from Dr. Walensky, a couple comments came in across the board. There's Dean Powell saying hello from Decatur. How are you? Jenny asks, who do we push for forced stimulus? Great question. You want to push every single Democratic senator. You want to push every Democratic senator because this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money and time is the essence. This is not an item that needs to drag out. Now, here's the couple rubs across the board. The White House does not look like they are of an urgency at the moment. Yeah, the White House needs to get moving as well. They keep on talking, we don't have to rush. This is not an urgent situation. It is an urgent situation. It's stimulus. It's job creation. You need to do these things now, not 7 years from now. So that's the first concern. Second, you want to tag them on social media. Also, call them up on the phone. Call your elected officials up on the phone. Tell them, get this bill done. Get it done quickly. We can't wait because if the economy rebounds, there will be no more sense to get stimulus out the door. Elsewhere, let me turn to third stimulus. And this is very important across the land. Third stimulus is hitting before fourth stimulus. Third stimulus is rent, food, homeowners assistance, SBA business grants, refunds for unemployment from the IRS. Also the children's money, hazard pay. All this money is available for you right now, and this is what you need to know. What you need to know is in 3 minutes from now, I'm back more with Afternoons LA, and I'll be going over the analysis of how you need to get money right now. The video after this will be sort of a mixture of purple, but also answering your questions live on air, because this is how things are. You're going to get a $14 stimulus check. You'll get it, you'll cash it. And then in a week from now, you'll wonder, okay, where's the next check? The next items under third stimulus package are all application-based. I want you to be first in the door to get that application filed and get that money because it's first come, first serve. And guess what? It's not going to get replenished under fourth stimulus because no one wants these items again, like rent or utilities, to go out. This is the last hurrah for a lot of these items. You want to be first in the door to get the money. Then I'm going to also go over the standalone items that are sending out money, like the $10,200 tax refund, like the mortgage, like the student loan debt forgiveness, which could be happening about 2 weeks from now. And then we'll focus on fourth stimulus, which, as you see in the graphics, would land in its earliest formation, June or July. It's a long time between April to July to get a stimulus check. Don't worry. Because in purple right after this, I'm going to go over the big money that's available for you now, between now and then. And that's for all of you if you make less than $75,000 a year. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. Stay informed, stay focused, and consider becoming a member because, boy, the advisories coming in from IRS in the next few days, they're going to be big. Consider becoming a member. There's links at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. Stay informed, stay focused, and I'll see you in 3 minutes from now as Afternoons LA continues.